Game Beard.
Let's build the large building. As you can see, I already have pre-cut some of my walls. I have the first floor entrance. I have the side wall, and then I have the second story wall. And you're going to make 2 of these, 4 of these, and 2 of these. I've already cut off the white. What you're going to do then is you're going to fold it in half, and then you're going to glue it. I got my glue right here. The first floor has large doors for your loader to enter. We'll have to cut out all those windows and doors. Usually when I cut these, I have a big book ready to kind of lay flat on these while I'm gluing them together. So that was the bottom floor, first floor. Here's my second floor. I'm going to add some glue. Okay. So you'll do this 2 times, as well as this you'll do 2 times. You'll have 2 of each of those. Finally, I have my fourth wall, or my side wall, and there'll be 4 of these. This one has a tab on the side to fold over, but I haven't folded it over yet. I'll do that last. Okay. Alright, so this one needs to dry a little bit. What I do need to do is I need to cut out all of these windows. Perhaps you saw, I'll just do this one, windows and the front door. So I'll cut this front door out too. You may have saw this small building video, but I'm gonna cut all my vertical lines across. I'm gonna cut my horizontal lines, and I'm likely to show you a few of these cuts, and then I'm just gonna skip to the end when I have cut out all my windows. I've cut out all of my parts. So I have my upper story walls, 2 of them. I have my lower story or first story entrance walls, 2 of them. And then I have my 4 side walls. And I cut out the windows. Here's the one I just cut out. I still need to trim off, there's a little bit on this edge, a little bit of white. this part of the tab kind of folds down, or well, it goes down, and I need to fold along this tab. So I'm going to position that right on the edge of my table, and I'm going to fold. And then the other side as well, I'm going to fold it. There we go. So I have 4 of these. That's it for the walls. Now it is time to build the floor of my building. Here's my floor. It's already cut out. Has this thin edge that I'm going to fold down, and I have some tabs as well. So there's like a little tab there. So I'm going to start by folding these very long edges or sides. These are tricky because they're not too wide. Well, they're long, but they're not too, I don't know. They don't have a lot of edge. Okay. Currently there's 2 buildings, 2 large buildings, but there will be other variations in the future. So your bottom floor may have a different decoration of junk and debris. I modify it a little bit so they're a little different, although hardly notice much. Okay, so I folded my sides. Now I'm going to use that tab and I'm going to glue them in. There'll be 4 of them total. So I'm going to glue those. This floor piece is still drying, but all of my corners have been glued. I'm going to put this to the side to dry, and I need to build my next flooring piece, which, well, this is actually the ceiling, but it'll be the 2nd story floor. Here's a finished ceiling. You're going to make 2 of these. And you'll notice that there are these tabs. These will connect inside the walls, and that way you can stack your floors of your building together. This one's cut out, but let's talk about how I cut out these corners. What happens is, first you're going to cut all the way around these corners, just completely. Then there's going to be 4 of these, right, in each corner. You're going to cut right here. So you're going to cut right here to this point, and you're going to stop so that these will lift away. There's going to be a small triangle here that you are going to cut away. So that's how you cut this. You cut here to this point, and you cut away that triangle. This part is connected, so that's one piece, and this is one piece. And it's difficult if you don't do that. And so you'll do that on all 4 corners, and that's it. Now we need to fold. We need to fold these corners. Let me get my ruler. You have to fold up and over. So let's see if I can do this. I'm going to line up my ruler. I'm going to hold it with my thumbs, and then I'm going to pull up. Yeah, this ain't easy. These tabs are easy. These guys. Let's see. Just pull that up. Just use a finger to pull that up. Okay. It's a pretty long edge. Let's try it again on this side. I'll do the other long side. So again, I don't know if I can hold it this way. Let's try. I'm gonna hold it. No, I got it. It's helpful to use the table. So I'm kind of bracing the ruler against the table, and I'm gonna pull back on this edge. I can't think of an easier way to do that. If you figure it out, great. Once I have that, I can pull up on this tab. Make sure it's lined up, pull up on that tab. Okay. Adjust these. Okay, not bad. So I have those. I also need to pull this up, but I have to temporarily flatten the other edges while I do that. So I'll do that. I might be able to hold this in my hand while I do this. So I have fingers in the back and my thumbs holding it. I can just push up on that tab. Oh, it's easier just to go on the table. Kind of fold it. I have the single tab here and a single tab over here. Okay. Yep. Finally over here. I'm still going to use the table. Pull up. Okay. Hold this and move that tab up. Okay. And do that. Alright. So I've folded everything. Now I want to make sure it's in good shape. The T-tabs are going to go behind. And so you can see how they're going to glue. I'm going to put glue here. And then I'm just going to position them behind. And I'm going to pinch them like that. So that'll make a nice reinforced corner. But before I do that, I want to make sure everything is in position and folded pretty good. Alright, okay. I'm ready to do my first tab. So again, I'm going to add glue to the T-tabs. Those will be on the outside. Maybe get a little... When you do this, you want these to be nice and... like you don't want them to be sloppy. You want them to be real kind of tight. So I got the glue there. I'm going to press in. I could just do one corner at a time, but I'm going to do both. And you really want to get them, together to make that nice sharp corner. One way to help you is you can use the table to help you, and you can just really press and hold down, or you can use like a flat edge ruler and really just press in. And I can turn it over and I can press. So you want to get a nice firm corner like that. So here's my 4 corners. You can see I've glued them in, and it looks pretty good. I have 2 of these. I have one for the first story and one for the second story roof. Now what I need to do, I'll let that one dry a sec, is I need to glue on top of this, I need to glue these panels. I have like a second story floor and a roof. It doesn't matter which one you glue to which, but you're going to want to you're just going to add glue, and you're just going to glue it right on top, and you want to match those corners. So I'll do that right now. Parts are so big. that it actually takes time to spread the glue around. Good enough. I need a little more glue over here. Oh, I bumped the camera. Yep. Very little room for this stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna try to put this on, and I want to really line it up to those corners. Okay, I got that one. Let's try this one. Gluing as I speak. Push it over a little more. Slide it a little. It's not perfect. I'm going to push it down, and I'm going to glue. You know, if you have something you can help press down, that might be useful. It'd be nice if I had a square. Really want to get it in those corners. I don't have anything square offhand. This is it. It's glued underneath. It's not perfect, it's very close, but it's good. It's good. It'll be good enough. I'm going to put this over here to dry. Now I have to glue this second story floor onto this piece. So I'm going to add some glue. Okay, here you can see I've glued. So here's my ceiling for the first floor and the floor of my second floor. This is still drying, but I'm going to be gluing, well, actually I won't be gluing, but I'll be using this to help make sure that my walls aren't too tightly glued together, but I'm going to put this off to the side. Now I'm ready, so here's my floor. Now I'm ready to start gluing my walls. Here the front wall actually goes on the long edge, and I'm going to have a side wall like this. Oh, yes, yes. And I'm going to glue these. Wow, it's so big, yeah, it barely fits. So I want to glue these first, and perhaps I shall do that. So large. So there's two sides to your walls. One has like a ledge. It's thin, but you can see it on the inside. It doesn't really have a ledge. And there is on your side wall, there's a tab, and that's going to cover up the front edge, and it's going to glue. Now, when we do this though, we want to leave, we don't want it to be super tight. We want to leave a little bit of a white gap. And I have found it's better to leave a little more of a gap. Also, when we do this, maybe I can show it to you like this. So it can be tighter near the bottom, but up here it needs to have a little more space to accommodate these tabs going in. So we actually need a little more space here. So we're going to give it a little bit of white, but almost at a slight angle, kind of like, let's see if you can see that. Wow. Kind of like that. Like it's a little more on the top than it is on the bottom. And you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, Dave, really? Just a little bit more on the top. So there's a white gap. Let's see when that folds. Yeah, I can even do a little more. When you fold it, the gap kind of closes. But there's a little bit more on the top. Okay, well, let's try it. Let's glue. It can't be too much because then your walls won't fold like straight, but yeah, let's see. Okay. So I'm going to position these. I have a gap. That's a pretty decent gap. I'll have to, okay, and then there's a teeny bit, not much more, but a teeny bit more near the top. That's to accommodate those tabs. Gotta press down. Let's see what this looks like. Because you lose, yeah, you're gonna lose, okay. So a little bit more on the top. When you fold it, you lose some of that gap. Now let's see how well this will fit. Let's see if I did too much of a gap. Oh, maybe a little. I think it's okay though. Yeah, we'll make it work. Okay, so this one, wow, no room for it. Okay, so this one's going to be like this. So the next one has so many parts. Okay. The next one's going to glue like this, so that they can connect like this. So I'm going to move this one out of the way, let it dry a little bit. This one I need to glue like this. Okay, I'm going to move my floor out of the way. Same thing, I'm going to add some glue here. We'll test fit this thing as we're working on it too. Okay. Oh, ooh, I almost messed up. Shoot, I failed to tell you. The bottom, there's a little more of a gap, or it's more of a distance. So this is like maybe 1/2 inch on the top. This is like 3/4 of an inch. So I almost messed up. I almost glued it. So this is actually going to glue like this. It'll match your distance. So I don't need this glue here at the moment. I'm going to wipe it away, and I'm going to add the glue right here instead. Wow. Okay, it's close though. So I don't know, this is like 3/4, maybe an inch, and this is like 1/2 inch. But it matches this, the door, so, and because the door's on the bottom, so that helps. Okay, I'm gonna glue this on with that tab. I'm gonna leave a gap, and then a slightly bigger gap. See, I'm curious. I haven't done this before, but I know I need to. Oh, that wasn't enough of a gap down there. Let's see, oh, a little too much. Okay, let's do it like that. Let's see, and I want a little more here. You can't see it. Well, okay, it's not much more. If I tilt it too much, it won't fold very good. Let's find out. Okay, so there you can see my gap. Teeny bit, not as much as I would have liked up on the top, but it'll help it fold at a, at an angle better. Okay, we got it. Now, so here you can see how they're gonna fold together, or glue together. Wow, it's so big. Hey, large buildings, man. We're like, no joke. So this is like their halves, right? I'm gonna glue this half to the floor first, then, and I'll secure it, make sure it's good. Then I'll glue this. When I glue it, I'm not gonna glue this tab to the floor yet. So like I'll leave this and I'll add glue when I glue that other wall. Okay, so here we go. I'm just gonna add the glue right onto this wall. I'm gonna kind of. Usually what happens is, well, yeah, I mean the paper kind of soaks it in. I just want to get a decent amount. The reason why I'm not putting the glue on the edge of the foundation or the floor is because there's like this big gap here that I don't want to have extra glue. Okay. Okay, here we go. Oh man. Okay. So I want to get this corner good. Yeah, it barely goes beyond that. Wow, even with my... I really want to get this corner good. Wow, it's hard to get this under the camera. Okay. And I'm going to put it on its side because I want to make sure that it lines up at the bottom here and the side. Ugh, okay. This is still drying. I had to pinch, and it was a big ordeal. I probably skipped past it, but I was like pinching it. You want to make sure that you're gluing, like it doesn't go below your wall. You're pinching it. You want to get this corner like just right. You know, you're gonna really hold it. That's a priority. And then like a wall may lift up, and you're gonna hold it down. And this is still drying, but it looks like I'm ready to go. Now I want to try to fit this in. When I glue this in, I want to put a lot of glue on this tab. I still want to leave a little bit of white in there. I don't want it to totally butt up. Like you can kind of pull it out a little. Not a lot, just a little, just a teeny bit. And then I'm going to glue these down. I'm not going to glue this. I'm going to add the glue here. I'm going to add it, but I'm not going to glue that until last, so that way at the end I can kind of pull it out a little. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my floor, and I'm going to see how well it fits. Like, oh, I need to pull it out a little to accommodate it, right? So, but this is in the ready, and man, it's going to be a whirlwind. Okay, so first I want to add glue in on this tab, and then in this corner too, because you really want to get it in there. I added a little too much, that's okay. Just gonna glob that on. I'll have to wipe it all off later. Okay, then I'm gonna glue. I don't have any room for all this stuff. Nice, it's a huge model, just for you. And then I'm going to get the glue ready on this tab, but I don't glue this down right away. Smear it. Okay, let's see. I'm going to wrestle this thing into position. So first, I'm just going to try it like this. I'm just going to see if I can hold it in place. Ooh, not very well. Okay, I got to flip it up. Or maybe I'm gonna do this. I want this tab. Okay, that's good. So I want to make sure this is good. I don't want to worry about this thing. Okay. Now maybe I'll flip this whole thing over. You may not be able to see it. And I'm gonna focus on getting this. Yeah, this is probably the best way to do it. See, you can't really see it, but I'm pinching, and I got this it's off camera, this corner right here, and I just want to make sure it really butts up, and I can really pinch it down, and I'm pressing. Yeah, this is a nice big model. I mean, it's great. Don't you want a nice big model building? Really got to hold this down. Pressing. Normally I would press for a lot longer, but I'm going to see if I can move on to the next step. Oh, maybe I can just lift it up. No, I'm going to put it on its, yeah. This works good. Using the bottom of the table to help me. Yeah, okay. Ooh, this one is a little, doesn't want to. Let's see, yeah, I don't know. You know, I could probably use a ruler, like a flat edge of a ruler to help me press. I'm pressing down, there's like a little lip underneath that floor foundation. Okay. Oh, I could do this all day, but I'm not. I'm gonna skip to the next step. Okay, so it's kind of in position here. It's a little warpy. I got the glue already on this tab, but before I glue that down, I want to make sure I can fit these tabs into the corners and that it fits not too snugly, because it tends to be more snug than you think. In fact, maybe I could just glue it around it. I don't know if that's a good idea. Yeah. Okay, I'm checking. I think that's whatever. I think I needed a little bit. Okay. I'm going to leave a little bit of a white gap. I'm just going to have to show it to you. I don't know if no, you can't see that, but I'm going to glue it. I'm going to press down. Oh, that's not gluing. Okay. Yeah. I was generous in my gaps so that it's not perfectly, it doesn't hold to those, the foundation. It's a little bigger than my foundation, but I think that's okay. Okay. Let me show you my, so this takes some time. You really want to make sure everything's gluing. You can use the table to kind of press it in. Let me show you my gap, if you can see it. Oh yeah, you can see it. There. So I left, it kind of goes out a little bit. Like it's tighter near the bottom. That's okay. But that tab, I need a little extra space for that those tabs to kind of go into those corners, and that should be enough. I have found, we'll see when I place this whole thing together. It always looks like that is way too big of a gap, but then usually it's not. Like it's still, like you need to have a little bit of a gap. But I'm going to let this dry. The second story. So here, so I actually used, this was the piece I was using to measure. Boy, I need to move that thing away. I'm going to just move it away. Okay, you go dry over there. So this was the ceiling and the bottom floor of the second floor. And here you can see there's a bigger edge to glue on. So when I glue these, when you glue, you don't want to glue below this. These tabs stick out, so this wall will line up to this edge, and you'll be left with those little tabs. Can I show you like this? Yeah, so it'll be like that. Okay, and I'm gonna start with gluing. I have two of these. There's no doors on the second story. How about that? And I'm just gonna glue. I'm gonna glue this together, and I'm gonna leave a little bit of that gap for the roof. There'll be a roof. Okay. Oh, and you want to make sure. Yeah, you want to make sure you glue it correctly. So this is the outside. The inside doesn't have those frames, and then it's a little longer on the bottom. So it's a little longer on the bottom. It's like an inch or 3/4 of an inch. Okay, I'm gonna leave that gap. There. That might be a little too much. Okay, I'm gonna glue that. So that's gonna fold over. When you fold over, you lose some of that gap. That's pretty gappy. So, but I think that's okay. Okay, so this one's gonna go like this, and this one shall go like this, so that it's like this. Okay, I'm gonna move this one out of the way to dry. I'm gonna position this one. It looks like I have the right side. I don't have any. I'm gluing on the inside, so there's no window sills. I'm gonna add some glue to this tab. Okay. I'm gonna position it. I'm going to add a little bit of white gap and a slightly bigger gap there on the top. Okay, just slightly though, like barely. Gotta make sure I get this before I start gluing everything together. The second story is easier. There's a bigger base to glue it on. So here's my... Now remember, there's a gap here. It's slightly bigger on the top, but remember when this folds over, it closes, you know. So, but that's good. That's good. Okay, I'm gonna start with my other one first. So here's my floor. I'm just gonna glue like this. I am gonna add glue to this edge. This should be easier. Wow, there's a lot of glue. Okay. Okay, here we go. I'm just gonna try to fit it on. What I want to do is I want to line up those bottom edges. There, that looks good. And I really want to get it into this corner. There, that feels like it's going to be good. And I'm really going to press down in here. Oh, well, okay. Oh, you can't, it's off camera. Like the other half, it kind of drooped down. That's okay. I want to make sure I get this one really good. And then I will flip it on its side and get that other one. Okay. Again, I really want to match that bottom. I want to get this this corner where they connect at the 90 degree. I really want to pinch that, make sure that's good. So there you can see that. It's pretty big. I didn't glue, well, wow. Even with that gap, wow. Even with that gap, it barely, like it doesn't fully go around this corner. Okay. Yeah. Okay, those gaps are, yeah, good to include. So this is it so far. Now I'm going to, I'm going to add glue to this, and I'll add glue down in here too, right? This is all going to, and on this tab, it's all just going to glue in, and it's going to wrap around, and I'm going to glue it and hold it, right? And then I have my ceiling, or it's not my ceiling, it's my roof. Well, it's a ceiling and roof. And I want to make sure that this all, like those tabs can fit in there before I finalize, the glue. Okay, here we go. I'm going to add all the glue to the top here. This is happening much easier than the other one. The other one I had less space to glue. I'm going to add some glue all on here, both sides. Here and here. I really want that. Oh, and then I need this thing to glue. Oh, I'm going to put a lot of glue on this tab. Yeah. In fact, I'm going to glue that thing first. I'm going to glue this tab first, and then all this other stuff will be ready to, like I'm adding all the glue so it's ready, and then I can just wrap it around. Okay. Oh, and I'm going to need glue. See, all this glue, it's going to make it all soggy, and so I have to act relatively quickly. I mean, I can't take forever. You could like glue one thing at a time as you're going, but you want to act quickly. Okay, so I'm going to glue this first. I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap and a little bit more of a gap near the top. Yeah, something like that. I don't know if you can see my gap, but from checking it out earlier, it like barely wrapped around, so I definitely left a little bit of a white gap, like a little bigger, like, and you'll know, like, man, I need extra gap here to kind of make it around that corner. Yeah, okay, go for it. Okay, so I got that. I'm just gonna fold this over, and I want to line up along that edge. Okay, and I'm gonna press down Really want to hold it in this corner and press down. This usually will take longer. I'm going to try to go a little faster so that I can finish. I might speed it up or skip ahead, but take your time when you're gluing this stuff. I mean, you're working relatively fast, but take a little more time to make sure each part glues. Okay, so now I'm ready for this part. Now I'm gonna glue this. Flipping it over. I'm gonna get this last side. Really push it in there. Okay. It slides on the glue, so be careful. Now I haven't glued this thing yet. Because and let's see if we can see my gaps. It's still drying too. I got a little bit of white gap there, a little bit of white gap there, a little bit of white gap there. You can't see that. And I'm definitely gonna add a little bit of a white gap here too. But I wanted to make sure that I can fit these tabs in there. So I'm gonna put them in. That's why it's nice to have this assembly complete. Okay, let's see. I don't know. Looks okay. Looks like I gapped it enough. I'm a little suspicious of myself. Well, I'm gonna leave that little bit of that gap. Okay, so it's fitting. It might be too much of a gap. This might be the first time I don't know. We're gonna find out if you can have too much of a gap. I don't think you can. It needs a lot to glue here. Okay. Well, this is, let me double check here. I might just skip past all this. No, it's good. Okay, well, I have it in place. Let's look at my final gap. If you can see it. Yeah, it's in there. I don't know. I hope you don't make too big of a gap. Okay, so this needs to dry. So it's in position. I'm gonna let this dry. Finally, we need to glue. Here's the roof, right? There's like a wall for the roof. So I need to fold. I have two of these folded. But I need to fold, I have the other. So there'll be four pieces. There'll be like 2 long and 2 short. So I've already folded one of each. Here's my long. So I'm going to fold it and glue it for you, just so you can see it happen. Okay. Yeah, not bad. There'll be some tabs I need to fold, but I'm going to fold those later. I'm going to add my glue. Okay. Glue it. I'm going to use my ruler to help me flatten it. Okay. I'm going to put that, okay, so here we go. I'm going to put that off to the side. I have my smaller, shorter wall. I'm going to fold that in half and then I'm going to glue it. You have to pre-cut these, of course. Oh, and while I'm doing this, these are blank, but I have walls that have the name and address of the building. And, oh man, that didn't work out. So, oh, that'll be okay. That'll be on the inside. So So some of these will have the name of the building and an address, and that's kind of nice. But I already have a building with the name and address, so this is like I have extra walls. So you can have, if you make more than one of that same building, you can use this blank wall option, so that some of them are just generics or they don't have a name. That way they're not all the same building, which is nice. So I already have this building made with a name. This is going to be my bonus. Okay, pressing that down. There's a considerable white gap here. But this is going to be on the inside. This is going to be gluing down, so it's not terrible. Okay. Oh, finally. Okay, no, I don't fold that yet. So I have my walls, and what we want to do is we're going to glue the side first. Oh, look, I can trim that. I can trim that a little. Yeah, I will. And then I want to kind of measure. I'm going to fold. I'll fold one of these on the line, but the other one, it won't match up. Like, it'll be a little less than that line. So I'll have to kind of see how that works. And then I'll just, okay, I'm going to fold one of these first. I'm going to fold it a little bit beyond it, just slightly. Okay, and then I'm going to kind of pre-measure. So it's going to hook. It's going to hook there. Actually, it fits not bad. So I might be able to just fold it right on this line, maybe a little past it. But you'll measure and you'll kind of test it, and you'll kind of know. I'm going to try it like that. Okay, and then I'm going to glue this on. Oh, so what's the inside? The inside, there's a no step, caution no step. That's going to be on the inside of that wall. I'm actually going to glue it here. And I'm going to add a little bit of glue right here for that tab. Okay. Remember, the caution no step, that's on the inside. So I'm going to push up against that edge, push up there, good. Ooh. I'm going to lay it flat here. It can slide, so. Okay. What's going to happen is I'm going to glue the other side as well, and then this will cover it like a cap. It'll cover up those tabs. Okay. I'm gonna test it to see where I need to fold it again. Oh yeah, see this one. Okay. I need to fold definitely a little past it this time. So I'm gonna fold it like that. Okay. So I got my folds positioned. I'm gonna add the glue. I have glued my sides on. I have these tabs folded over. I'm going to add glue, and then I'm going to add this shorter wall. It's going to overlap those tabs, kind of like a, I don't know, like a cap. And that'll be done. So I'm going to add some glue here. Oh, and I can add glue right up on this wall too, because the corner of that wall is going to go up all the way. I'm going to add some glue over here, add glue up here, spread it. Okay. So we'll start with this wall first. Make sure the caution no step is on the inside. So there's the first one. I'm going to do the next one. kind of center it. So here it is. I glued it. You know, I just noticed it leaves a little white tab here. So if you want, it's nice stability on the outside though, but if you don't like that, you can paint it, or you can just trim that part off before you glue the short side on, but I think it's all right for now. I think I'm just gonna leave it. Okay, so here's the roof, and it has a wall. Now all this stuff is still drying, but let's see if it will connect. I have to connect it on its side because it's so large. So here's my first story. Here, I'm gonna move this roof. Okay. Now, when you connect these, you don't want to like kind of go like this and then try to do it. You want to try to get them all in like straight down. You can't even see both sides. You do it like this. You might have to move it a little. Did I get the other one in? Yeah. Oh, I didn't get this one in. Okay. Okay, so lucky me. So that connected. Gosh, you can't even see it all. It's huge. You're like, hey Dave, why don't you pan out the camera? No. Okay. So so they connected. I left a lot of gap, but even with all those gaps, it's kind of snug. Or not snug, but it fits. It's pretty good. Okay, now let's do the roof. Same thing. You want it to kind of come in. Okay, so it's going to come in. Oh. So my paper's, okay, let me push that paper in. Well, yeah, I mean, it's still pretty, even with all that, even with all of my extra gap, it's pretty good. So you definitely want to be mindful of those gaps. You don't want your corners to be totally touching. There's gonna be like a slight gap. Think of it for like an earthquake gap. But here's my building. It's a large double-story building. Technically, if you built an extra one of these, you could have a 3-story, which might be fun. I don't currently. I mean, you could. I recommend 2-story buildings because otherwise it takes forever to climb up to the top. But it might be fun to have a 3rd story if you wanted. You could have a 3rd story for maybe a special mission or just maybe a special building, just to add some variety in heights. But I generally currently recommend 2-story buildings. But this is it. This is my double-story building. You definitely want to use this for Junk Runners Skirmish, but you could use it for any kind of modern or post-apocalyptic skirmish game with infantry or whatever you need. I scaled this to about 28 millimeter, which is your typical Warhammer, or usually it's like 25 to 28, like 25 for other miniatures, but 28 for Warhammer. But this is my large building for Junk Runners Skirmish. Have fun playing the game.